Hi, everyone. Welcome to Divine Secret Tarot. This is going to be a specific Divine Feminine message, and I really wanted to do this because I wanted for the Divine Feminines to understand that the energy that you're probably feeling isn't your own. It's not only your counterparts, but it's also going to be the collective energy. So no matter how much you pull away, you are still specifically isolating yourselves in certain activities or moments in the day or week because you need to replenish yourself, right? You need to come back home to yourself. You need to ground and use the specific tools that work for you. Either it's painting, dancing, artwork, reading a book, whatever it is, sitting quietly, cooking, whatever it is. You are doing those specific techniques, tools in order to ground you back into this reality. Now, I'm actually recording this around the most intense period of Mother Earth and having the ability to transmute a lot of the upcoming Mother Gaia frequencies. So, by the time you hear this, it probably is past already, but that's a good thing. Otherwise, the thing is, if I predicted the future, people would say it's wrong. And then when the future came, they're like, oh, okay, then, well, cool. Right. What now? It's just like the whole point of tarot, the whole point of these readings are to allow you to access a version of yourself that is seeking what you need. So when people say only take what resonates, of course, you're going to only take what resonates because you have no option, because the things that you don't resonate with, you can't take on board. And so, for the divine feminines who are going through this earth frequency, you are probably meditating, visualizing. I think some of you are actually seeing divine light. Now, whether you use your ascended masters, your spirit guides, your earth angel, whatever you use, whomever you draw your higher self from, I feel like you are seeing light around you. You're probably seeing light around your aura or about the things you're doing. And I'm seeing a lot of transmutation of the energy that you are probably indirectly absorbing, having to transmute other people's energies, and because you're doing that for the collective, nobody really knows you're doing this. This is the point of this. Only high vibrational people are going to see this message. And I don't say that lightly. I say that purely because I know for sure that these messages are only seen by the highest of the collective, which is why they haven't got thousands of views. And I am grateful for that because I know that the thousands of views are a different vibrational frequency. They're not necessarily bad or good, they're just different. People are going through their own journeys. As a twin flame, or even as a individual who saw this reading, you are resonating with your higher self. And what I mean by that is you've done so much work in healing on yourself, on where you are going, on how much you've accomplished through your own journey, that you are coming back home to yourself. Now, um, me and my friend were talking about the pick me girl, right? Everybody knows the pick me girl from Meredith Grey in Grey's Anatomy. And I feel like there's a resurgence of people watching Grey's Anatomy right from the start again. And those people who are watching it with fresh eyes. But this is the pick me girl era that you have finally started to pick yourself, not out of selfish tendencies. This is so you can keep serving. This is so you can still keep being you, authentically, genuine, the light being that you are. People feel great in your presence. People feel incredible when you're around, and they may not necessarily say it, but they definitely feel the energy shift. So your higher self is choosing you, your younger self is choosing you. So you're really gaining the confidence and having the audacity to pick yourself. This is why you're a light worker. This is why you're a healer. This is why you've come onto this earth, that people don't know how much you're doing in the shadows, in the astral realms. When you meditate, for example, Some of you are entrepreneurs and business owners, so you're infusing that light, that creativity, and that abundance directly into your projects. So you are going to see the light around you. And I really, really love this energy because it's taken an awful long time to get here, but it's come at the right time because we are ending this year on a nine. You're ending cycles. No more woe be me energy, no more having to deal with all of the ancestral wound energy. I feel like a lot of you have accepted the way that the challenges have driven you towards this path, towards this message. Is a blessing because if it wasn't for all of these specific turn of events and experiences, you wouldn't be able to be the version of you that you are now. So what is your current challenge at this time? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? The Empress. The challenge is, do you know you're worthy enough? Do you know you're a freaking empress? No more queen energy, high priestess energy. You are the empress. You already know this. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here on this channel. This equates to 22. So there is a divine masculine and feminine energy rebalance between you, yourself, and you. What I'm seeing here is the Sun card. It was almost like you had to earn the happiness, you had to earn the success, you had to earn the rest. And now you realize, yes, yes, you've earned it, but you don't need to keep earning it in the future. Change your ways, change the way you manifest things, attract the frequency that you desire, and it will come. I did this with cars earlier today. I was about to make myself a protein shake and I was just enjoying the view outside of my window. And I saw a car go by and I was like, not that car. I saw another car go by and I said, not that car. And then there was a third car. No. And it just got worse. Like the cars, like the make, the model, basically. I love cars. So basically, I'm not going to tell you which cars they were because I know I'm going to lose some of you in that domain. But my whole point of this story is after the third car, I was like, oh no, like not those. They kind of categorically, sequentially got worse up. And then I was like, ooh, a VW. Now I have to tell you obviously which car. And then I started saying Audi and like Mercedes because then, so say for example, at first I started saying VW, then I saw a VW, like literally within seconds of me saying it. And then I was like, ooh, but not a Polo. I want a VW GTI. And then I don't think it was a GTI, but it was definitely a VW. And then when I was specific about the GTI, I could hear the engine, I could hear the exhaust, and I knew for a fact that was a GTI, and plus obviously the spec and things like that. And I realized that yes, we can be specific about the frequency, about our manifestations, but also the universe will match our energy. And then I started obviously saying about Audis and Mercedes and Lamborghinis and all these things because I was like, well, why not? We're attracting all these beautiful things because before we used to ask for things in a low vibration. We didn't resonate with it because we didn't know our sense of royalty, our blood that was designed to receive the abundance in the external world. Like some of you are designed to live a rich life. And that's why not everybody will see this video. Because you know what? Because you're a kind person, because you're generous, because you're loving, the universe will reward you in different ways. It's like when you give love to somebody like your twin flame, they may not necessarily receive that love because they're not in that vibrational frequency with you, but somebody else, like your friends or your family or your work acquaintance, may surprise you in a loving gesture. That's why karma is real. So let's have a look at your root energy. We've got the Four of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. These energies cannot be this aligned with the ground earth energy. Now, the King of Pentacles is this manifestation of, let's take divine masculines out of the equation right now, and let's think of yourself as the divine masculine who is grounded, who is earth bound, because the Pentacles is an earth sign card. You're tapping into your resources, and the resources that you're tapping into are earthbound. This is why the energetics, the frequency of earth will be emanating for the next few days, even though a week and a bit since you will be hearing this message. And the Four of Pentacles is you're really holding on to the tools, the techniques, the experiences that help you ground your energy with Mother Earth. And in combination with seeing your light as above, so below, you're seeing the whole entity. You're seeing the whole, like Vesica Pisces, you're seeing it as a microscopic, like pin of a head of a needle pin, and from a very, very distant view. So what I'm saying is you're seeing the bigger picture, the whole picture, and you're not so invested in the minute details. You're not getting anxious or annoyed by those things anymore because you know there's a bigger picture. And you may not know the details of that, but that is where faith in the unknown is actually coming to greet you, to say, look, what you're doing is good enough. What you're doing is manifesting these things into the frequency that you are, because you've raised up your knowledge, your ability to accept that you're the light, that you're the empress, that you are the divine within you, right? Because in the past energy, you had wanted this. I feel like a lot of you had wanted to align with divine, to align with source energy, with God. And that was one of the wishes that you had wanted. You didn't want to lose yourself in a person or even in a job, because a lot of times we end up, I know for me in particular, and if some of you have this earth type of energy, you are very driven, you are very goal orientated. And whenever you sink yourself into a project or an idea or a work deadline, you tend to kind of lose connections with everyone else. And what I mean by that is you pour so much into that, and then you tend to let yourself go into patterns of, oh, I forgot to eat, or I forgot to move well, or I forgot to give myself as much sleep as possible. And sometimes we do get carried away with these projects, but the part of you wanted this balance, wanted this equilibrium. You wanted the union with your divine masculine and feminine. And as a consequence, you are you have reached that union of inner divine masculine and feminine, because unbeknownst to you at the beginning of the twin flame journey, when you're trying to uncover what this means, and then you're trying to listen to people saying divine union, yes, that's what I'm going to, you kept seeing you and your person in that union, and you forgot to see yourself as the light. You forgot to see yourself as the God entity, as the universal consciousness, as source energy, as the light emanating. And so because you had to go through the past kind of like cycles and wheels of all of these experiences to let you know that you certainly did manifest union with your twin flame, because you are your twin flame. You mirror one another. And now that you've found the inner union, you have no qualms about keeping up boundaries, putting certain um conditions in place if other people breach them. Because at the end of the day, it's taken a very, very long time for you to trust yourself, to love yourself, to care for yourself. And now that you've found that bond, you're really unable to let that go. It's almost like when you treat other people kindly and they're in your close circle, not everybody will see that version of you. They may see the kindness in you, they may see the love in you, but they won't see the version of you that your people see. Now you are seeing that version of yourself. You're no longer criticizing yourself or pouring hatred into yourself. You've done that, you've been there. Now you're into this scope of speaking to yourself like a God entity, like a loving entity. And one of your biggest strengths has been to manifest with that energetic frequency, the 10 of Pentacles, the possibilities, the opportunities. You can co create with the universe because you have the resonant frequency, the radio frequency tuned into abundance, which is why we've got the King of Pentacles, which is why we've got the Ten of Pentacles. You already had that, but you just didn't know yourself of worthy. So you created things when you were feeling unworthy, less confident in yourself. You still manifested things. Sometimes they took a little bit longer in the 3D. Now you can manifest things instantaneously because your vibration is that much higher. Does that make sense? Let me know if this actually does make sense to you guys. I know I feel like I'm going 1,000 miles an hour with these messages, but sometimes my head, the frequency that's coming in, the messages that are coming through a little bit too fast, and my mouth kind of like tries to catch up. I know that some of you are oracles and light workers and channeled messengers, that you probably feel the same thing, as sometimes you're channeling messages and they're just coming in various different forms and messages. So the future position, we've got the Hanged Man. I feel that whenever you're given the opportunity to be given a contract, be given a gift, you are going to contemplate it. And I don't mean that you're not going to receive it with kindness. What I mean is you are actually going to pause and have a look at the whole picture. You know how sometimes when somebody gives you something and you see it from face value, or maybe you turn it and then you see it from the back? I feel like you have let go of your limbs and you're using your energetic frequency to let it hover in front of your eyes, and then it spins 360. So you're able to see every crevice, every currach, every corner of every single detail of that opportunity or possibility or thing. Now, I'm not saying you're over analyzing the gifts, the opportunities, but in a way you are. It's almost like before, when I used to be a younger coach, I always used to say yes to every opportunity and everything. And I always used to struggle to keep on top of everything. Obviously, when we're younger, we've got a little bit more energy. But now we're trying to have a look at which energy can we conserve and where we are leaking energy. And so, as a higher being, as a light worker, you're already doing a lot of things for the collective. Like I said, in your dreams, when you meditate, even being in a higher vibrational frequency, you're already helping this earth. So, when opportunities now come to you, you're actually asking yourself, is this it? So you're allowing yourself to ponder. So that's what I wanted to share, that personally, I used to say yes, like have to say yes just in case that opportunity slips away. Now I'm under the impression of I get to take my time. I get to ponder. There is no rush. In a world where we're constantly asked to be busy and rush and be 5 or 15 steps ahead, now it's actually saying you don't need to rush. Everybody gets a chance to pause. So, where is your energy right now? We have you transmuting all of the heavy energy. So, if you're feeling fatigued or need for solitude, or having to just be by yourself and replenish, as I said right at the beginning, take that opportunity, because you are doing a lot of work for the collective. Even if other people might not see it and they're thinking, well, you're just tired and you're just sleeping all the time. Well, they don't understand the frequency of energy and what type of collective you are a part of. So let them have their own misjudgments, misunderstandings. You are collectively, you're in a very high frequency collective. This isn't group 7 stuff. This isn't you're a light worker and star seed and all of this. There's a lot of people with that. This is another level where you're helping transmute other light workers, other star seeds. This is almost like not quite ascended masters level, but like quite close. And so think of yourself as a higher regard. This is why I was saying at the beginning, the sun and the empress, you're seeing yourself as the god self, not with ego, not with fortitude, not with the fact that you're saying, look at me, this is where I need to be. You're doing it quietly. Like, not everybody knows about this. And most importantly, you don't even want to speak about it to other people. You don't even want to share this thing because you know how sacred it is. You know how sacred it is to be in this energy. So you're okay just holding space for it. What about what is happening around you? We've got the King of Swords here. I feel like there are people who are going to misunderstand you, who are going to want to understand this in the physical, in the 3D. Can you communicate with it? And if, for example, your person has come to you and asks you, well, can you explain? What do you mean? You may want to forward this video. You may want to share this with them because this is the type of energy, if as best explained as possible. If they're not going to get this message, then they're not able to tune into that version of you. And that's okay because we go through different levels and we resonate with different frequencies all the time. But your person may want to understand this version of you, and it's up to you whether you want to share it, whether you want to explain it. But this video will give them access to then say, well, did you resonate with it? And if they didn't, well, that's okay. And if they didn't, but they still understood it, that's okay too. Well, they may be thinking, wait a second, I get it. I get this. I resonate with it. And that opens up another avenue of conversation between the both of you. So, what is happening to the shadow self? We've got the Four of Wands. I feel like a lot of you had gone through, this is my person. I want to get into union with them. That was where your focus was. And now, because you focused away from physical union, you've been able to look at that as the shadow. And what I mean by that is it wasn't ever about physical union. Yes, you are going to come into union with your person. This isn't just a pathway for you to be alone. You aren't ever alone. This is why you're constantly being supported and guided, because you are supported and guided you are the support and guidance for others. And so spirit is going to bless you. You are going to bless yourself because you are an attractor of love, because you emanate from love and you are love. But the focus isn't on physical union anymore because you've come to the understanding where you have become the union within and of itself. And the future energies, we've got the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. So a part of the ego version of you will be looking back at saying, but where's my person? Every time you find yourself saying those things, ask yourself, what does my higher self need? What does my younger self need? Because those are the things that you are going to manifest. So even if you do want your person still, that's fine. Ask them to meet you at that high vibrational frequency. So it's not a case of you can't have this or that. You can have both. You can have your person because you've given yourself the time, the space, the growth to come to the higher vibration union of yourself. So it's only a matter of sinking in the frequency and seeing, well, where are you at? What have you been doing? What's going on with you? And then having that energetic check-in, having that physical 3D check-in. If you did resonate with this message, let me know. Let me know with some emojis in the comments box. I love hearing from you. And I'm sending you guys so much love. Bye for now.